Kello, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Happy Monday. Let me bring me up. Nope. Did I not go live? Yes. Oh, here we go. Real big lag tonight. Okay. So we'll just wait a minute or two. I think I might have to take my jumper off because it's one of the oversized jumpers I got in Disney. And it's lovely, nice and warm, but I think it's going to hinder my ability to craft. So whilst we're waiting for everybody, I might, because I've not prepped anything at all. I didn't even check whether these are still current or not, but anyway, that's what we're using tonight. So we will see. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend. That is not going to be... Oh yes, that will do for one piece. It's the first week. Hi Megan, how are you? I finally finished my album. I don't know whether I showed everybody. This is for the October retreat that I am doing. So I did that on the weekend. I did up the instructions for it as well. Are you using gold foil sheets? I am using copper foil sheets, not gold. This is gold. I used that last week. This is copper. So that's why I said I don't know whether these are still current or not. I had them in my stash because we are using, hi Kerry, we are using this paper. I had an awful time looking through the Stampin' Up website to work out what papers I've got that are currently current. This is pretty much it. The rest of them are all out of stock. So I didn't want to use an out of stock pack. So this is the Delicate Designs paper. And I've not used this at all. So we get 2 sheets of everything. This. And this one. So we're going to use those. And I thought I would show, I received this card in the mail this week or last week to one of the nicest people I know, and this is from Lucia. So Lucia goes live on Mondays. I was just watching her video. She goes just before me. I think she starts at 7:30. It's good in daylight savings because she's in Melbourne, but because then it's 6:30 my time and I get to watch all her video before mine starts. But when we're on the same time, I only see a little bit of hers. But when she was making this card on her live and she put this sentiment on, I said, that would have to be me as a joke. And she sent it to me. saying, I am one of the nicest people she knows. Like you loads. I like you loads, you know that. I thought I would leave the card blank as I remember you said that you didn't have this suite. This way I can use it as a display. So that was lovely. That's such a pretty card because I definitely don't have this suite. This is the Lily of the Valley suite, and she's done the inside of it as well. And this suite, I had a customer order it, and she'd been wanting it for quite some time. It came in stock, and I ordered it, and then it was out of stock again. So it is very, very popular. But yes, I thought I'd share that with everybody, that I received that, and it's a lovely card. And then tonight, it is a very special card, yes. I think I'm going to use this stamp set. It comes with this punch as a bundle. I've used it here and there before, but I've not used it exclusively. So we're going to try this tonight and see. But like I said, I have nothing planned. I've cut 2 card base layering pieces out of the copper foil. I don't know whether that's still current or not, but I had it in my stash and I'm using it. So we'll see whether we use all these pieces. I don't know what doing, but these are only single-sided pieces. It is not double-sided paper. So did everyone have a good weekend? No, but use it anyway. Well, I struggled to find paper that was in stock that's current. So I'm using current paper, but I think, can you get like metallic foil sheets which has a bit of copper in it now or something? I don't know, but I'm using it. Because I'm sure you are all like me and you got some stash somewhere of things. So I have a bit of a sketch here of what, given that I haven't planned anything, I don't know that we'll get through all of them, but let's do this. I like the plaid. So that can go on there. Now, what do we have in here? I also went through a lot of my stamps, and look at this. Isn't that what's here? Look, it's so close in the bugs. And I couldn't find, because you know last week when I was using the Wild Bunch stamp, like it was a good, nice, fun element to add to a card. I can't find, and that's now sold out. So that product of the month for June is finished. If you are after the product of the month, you guys need to get in early because they're selling out. So maybe I might use these presents here. I don't know. I'm looking for some like images that I can stamp with, and where are they? Yes. This has got lots of words on it. Whoa, that is stinky. Whoa. I've not opened that. Okay, so I want to do that. Okay. cut some card bases. See, it's much better when I'm a little bit more prepared, because then I know what I'm doing. But Beck Hall does Wing It Wednesday. We can do Make It Up Monday. Okay? Make It Up Monday. Because I got no idea what I'm doing. No. Okay, oh, but I want, do I have a card like this? I do have a card like this, because I want to do one of these fold cards as well. Right, so one of these fold cards, you need to cut your cardstock as portrait rather than landscape. Yes, so that the card goes like this, or long ways, which is opposite. So usually when I get my card, A4 card base, I score it at 10.5 centimeters first, and then I turn it and cut it at 14.8. But for this one, you need to score at 14.8 and then turn it and cut at 10.5, if that makes sense. And then we are going to cut, and I usually line this up and cut about the 2 1/4 mark. There's no real sign, so just make sure that it's straight there. So do that, and then this piece can go on like that. I might trim that down just a little bit because that's a bit big, so maybe I could have made that a little bit wider, because I'm just going to make that probably 3.5. No, maybe 3 1/4. That's better. Just fits on there a bit nicer. So we're going to do that. Okay, I'm going to line everything with copper foiling because I have one piece left. So we're going to cut this at 4. And then this piece we're going to do at 2 1/8. So that fits in there nicely. And then this piece fits there nicely. So then that needs to be 3 1/8. That will go on there like that. Right, so I think then with that we will want some leaves. Woohoo, does that mean 8 cards tonight to finish off that foil? Possibly. Let's see how I go, considering I have not prepped a thing. Let's see. Usually I have no issue trying to make 8 cards. But usually I've prepped a little bit. I had a busy day at home today. First day of school holidays. Okay. So that. I've got so much to get done this week because I am on holidays next week. before school holidays, and then when I come back from holidays I am in Sydney for the week. With my new job. I got a new job. Okay, so that can go on there like that. Do we want... we need probably this paper. Three. Does that go in there? Yes. Okay, and then does that... that fits in there nicely too, right? Okay, so that can go on that. This bit on here like that, right? And this bit on that. I have got... we are going to go... is this piece full? Yep. And then so did everyone have do anything special over the weekend? If I do, that is what it normally is. So let's work on that. And then if I do 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. Then we are left with a bit over half. So it'll be 1 1/4, 1 3/8 is what it's going to be. Let's do that. 1 1/4, 1 3/8. 1 3/8. No, 1 3/8. And 1 3/8. Yay, I did it. And that's only going to be a little bit there. Right. Quiet one. Oh, they're all too long. Damn it. Catching up on genealogy emails and entering info. That sounds like a lot of work, Sue. So these are going to be a little bit shorter than 4, so 3 7/8. So they can go into there. Do I want that? Do I want different ones? Let's do different ones. (1 3/8). Don't worry, I'll try and use these other bits. So let's do that over there. That's a bit better. I've broken it up a bit more now. And is that going to be... Oh! Look at that. That was made for that piece. 1 1/4, 1 3/8. Well, I spoke to my mum. She's had her surgery. So that's good. Oh, I had bits down here. Right. Got more cards out. Okay. There's another bit there. 1 2 3 4. Okay, that's 4 cards, Megan. We haven't put any bits on them yet, though. I think we do another one here. And then we get a white piece. Here. I'm going to need lots of white pieces. I do have I have my intention of doing copper embossing as well. I'm pretty sure we still do that. It's been a while. Right. Now, I've got this piece of copper here that I can use for something. Should I emboss that piece? She had her thyroid out, Janice. So she had to stay in hospital an extra couple of days, and then she was home, and then she was back in hospital. So it hasn't been great. So we're hoping, should I emboss this copper piece or this white piece on this card here? Because I feel it's a bit plain. On there, and then let's fold this up whilst you're all deciding. Emboss the white piece. Okay, let's do that. White, white. Okay, everyone's saying emboss the white piece. All right, but I've got another one here that if I do the same similar thing on the background, so we'll emboss later. White, I need a new piece. Hi Renee. Okay, put that white piece on there. Now put this on here. I don't have much of this foil left, Megan. Okay, so that can go on there like that. Then we're going to have, I kind of want that to be a full length over here. Oh, is that the one that I was going to do? That, okay. Let's do this. Nope, we just want to do this. So cut a 2-inch strip. And this will be there. Now, is it going to be enough? We'll make it enough. Do that as 2 3/4. See how, like, people ask me how I do this and how I plan cards. You know, sometimes I'm just winging it. I have rough sketches here, but these sketches don't have any sizes or anything on them at all. So we are winging it. Okay, so that size is do I want that in the center? Maybe I want that in the center. No, I think I want it over this side though. Okay, so there's 2 white backgrounds. Do we want this white background? I think no, I might stamp that background. Stamp it, stamp it, stamp it, and then I have one more. Do I want, because I haven't decided what I want to do with this yet. They can have the big frame on it actually. And that can be a more masculine card even though it's thingy. Right, so I've got one more card and I have one more bit of thing here. And I want that's like all the bits that I've got left. There's this bit here. Oh, I think that's needs to be this size. And then I'm going to get my circle punches and do a whole heap of circle, which I will need. Good thing I've got this piece left. So we've got 1.5, 2 3/4, 2. Right. I want to do that piece, and I think I'm going to emboss it. That's like all I have left out of this piece. Oh. get out of that piece. Yes. And that's not that. What piece don't we have? A little flowery piece. I was going to say, don't tell me I haven't got one cut. Hi, Sharon. Now, let me just try this on this card. Oh, I need the base first. And we will need probably a circle sentiment then for this. Do we think? I'm going to emboss that piece. And we will need, maybe I won't use that piece. This happy birthday. Well, Sharon, I was saying I was struggling to find a piece of DSP that is current and still available. This is my only pack that I've not used on a live to date. I know I can use packs again and again, but I do like to show different packs, and that's not big enough. This happy birthday. Now that's gonna look a bit, I might have to move that because I kind of want that showing on there. And we have another circle. Let's do Mickey ears. There, right. Happy with that. Now I need to put all these punches away before I drop one on my foot. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Out of the sheets of DSP, I've got those bits left, which isn't too bad. Now we'll need some more white for some sentiments and stuff. I think we'll make one card at a time with sentiments. Oh, I wanted to emboss. Emboss, emboss, emboss. Because I'll need to do that before I think. I have no idea what gems I'm going to put on here yet. So we're going to emboss this. Okay, out of these cards here, no, I was going to stamp on one of them, that's right. Stamp on this. We're going to do all different backgrounds. Okay, so we're not going to do that one. We're going to emboss on this one. I need an embossing folder. Oh, let's do this plaid embossing folder. Hopefully it's still in. Because when I do some prep, I usually check that all the stuff is current, but I did not check tonight because I didn't do any prep. So I'm using this plaid embossing folder. But that's okay. We've all got embossing folders that are out of date if this is not current. I'm going to have to put that down on the floor because there's just not enough room. I've got stuff everywhere for my October retreat. I've got stuff for my July retreat, my sip and stamp on Friday night. My desk is full of stuff that shouldn't be here. Okay, we're going to stick things down so that then I can start cleaning up my mess. To be able to heat emboss, because you don't want to have too much mess around when you're heat embossing. Okay, so these are just going to lay flat. Okay, and then I kind of stuck that one there. That there. And just lift that up a bit. And stick that there. Right, that's going to have a sentiment on it. Going to stick this one down. Now, if you do the first and last piece, then you kind of have the bits in the middle and then we can work out even spacing. So I find that the easiest. And if you have non-directional paper, then you can keep turning the cardstock like I just did, and it won't matter so much. But if you have directional cardstock, you don't want to be doing that, otherwise you'll have upside down bits. And that card could go like that or like that, because the paper is not really directional. Okay, that needs a sentiment on it. This one is a nice easy one. That just gets layered on there, so that gets another sentiment on it. These bits get layered together that we cut earlier. So for a while there I hadn't made any cards because we were just kind of prepping, and now I'm just sticking them all together. We're going to pump these out. We are going to have to heat emboss, which is going to slow us down a little bit. But that's okay. That's there. This one. Is everyone stopped talking, or that one is current? Nice. I just stopped seeing comments for a while, and I'm like, oh, has everyone just gone quiet? Or has my comment thing stopped? I'm probably going to run out of adhesive. Yes, I am. And it always happens on camera. Oh, come on. What's... Why is this one? There we go. Just didn't want to roll. That one needs a sentiment on it. Now, this one is going to stamp on the background. This one is going to be plain white. Right. Now, I know when my sister was crafting and stuff, she would always, watching intently, cut stuff out of the back of these foil pieces because she's like, that's so expensive, that foil paper. And the, I'm going to have all of these just as flat. I'll pop up the sentiment. I was going to emboss that. I've got glue on it now. Do I want to emboss that? No. I've got another piece. I could do a tiny, tiny little circle. And I'll emboss that. So you could punch out the backgrounds of it and stuff so that you didn't have, like, cover up all that expensive paper. I just really can't be bothered doing that tonight, but you could. I like foil being embossed. I think it's very effective. So we're going to emboss in the same embossing folder. Good thing I didn't put that fully away then, hey? I must have remembered subconsciously that I wanted to emboss something. Look at that beautiful piece. Now we don't want that and that together. But that like that, because then that can go there. Yes. Right. Hi, Tammy. I cut and gut all the foil pieces. Yes. But my sister also wouldn't put, like, doesn't put embellishments on cards either, because she's like, you know, those anchor embellishments or the bees or something. She's like, that ends up being a $5 card. And my thought process is I have 50,000 of them. That I'm not going to miss 3 or 4 here, because guess what? There's going to be new ones that I can buy later. That's going to go there when we heat emboss that, and we're going to stamp the background of this. Right, need to clean up so that I've got room to heat emboss. Yes, I'm throwing these bits out because, again, I have too many scraps. Okay, so to heat emboss, you need some stuff. Okay, I've got copper embossing powder and my embossing kit. I need some drinks. Okay. Now, with this punches out this or the inside of this. Okay, if you stamp that, you need to cut that out yourself, and you can stamp that, but this will punch that out. I don't actually know, because we've got this oval. I've not tested. Nope, that is too big. This oval does not punch that out. It's too big. Sometimes we get lucky like that. But, right, we need this. Let's stamp on this sentiment first and finish this card. Oh, I haven't even got blocks out, people. Where are my blocks? Right. So before you stamp, you use your embossing buddy to get rid of all the static, foil, like oils and stuff on your skin. And then you stamp in Versamark, which is sticky ink. And then you close your Versamark so it doesn't get any filthier. And then you grab your tweezers, pick that up and get your embossing powder and tip it over. Now my embossing powder is quite old, it's a bit lumpy. Alright, then you grab your heat tool, and this is going to be noisy, and you want to be far away from this. Don't heat this up and don't heat this up. Alright, so we're just going to heat it up over here. And I always find embossing magic, like when it churns, don't touch it straight away because it's like melted, and so you can leave a fingerprint in there, but after a little while you can touch it and it's all glossy and you can rub over it and things like that. Right, so we're going to pop that up. I haven't worked out what gems we're going to stick on these yet. Don't know that I've got any copper gems. Maybe with all this bling and copper we don't need any gems. I find that hard to believe. Okay, so that can go there. And that's our first card done. Right, with this one, I want to do the background. Where did I put the stamps? Oh, they're here. because this is going to be more masculine card. I'm just going to do the more birthday cards, I think. Does this fit on here? Probably not. All right, so get our embossing buddy. Now, you can kind of see there is an outline there. You can see where you've stamped. So if you want, you can ink up now and stamp your sentiment on the inside, or if not, you can add the embossing powder, heat set it, and then emboss again if you feel more comfortable doing that. So I'm going to heat set this. All right, so that one's done, and now we can just gonna get my embossing buddy again. Happy birthday. And you just give it a bit of a tap on the back. So that one is then done, and the punch, see when you line up, the punch will only punch out like that middle bit there with that border and things, which is nice enough, but I want the big border here, so I'm going to have to fussy cut this. Doesn't take long to fussy cut, it's pretty simple. All right, so then that one can go on here as well, and we'll stick some dimensionals on that. Now this is pretty big, definitely probably stick 4, maybe I'll stick 6. Hold that down in the middle, because sometimes when you heat emboss it does bend or warp the paper a little bit. Right, there's that one done as well. Now these next two, that's not a card base. We are going to be stamping this piece. And all right. Right, I'm gonna heat emboss first. If I was stamping on coloured cardstock, I'd definitely probably stamp it all because I'd be able to see it a bit better, but just with my lights of a night time, I don't have the best lights, so I don't want to screw it up. So I am heat embossing first and then stamping for the sentiment. Alright, so you don't want to leave it too long on there, but you want to make sure that everything's all shiny too and there's no powder left. And then we stamp. On here. Now my mother-in-law bought me this heat tool because I was using my husband's heat tool from Bunnings and I was setting things on fire. All right, so don't use the ones from Bunnings. You want a craft heat tool. But Stampin' Up have one and it's really good because it has two settings, like it has a high and a low setting. This does not, but after my mother-in-law bought this for my birthday, I didn't need another heat tool. I don't have storage for two heat tools when there's nothing wrong with this heat tool. So I don't have the Stampin' Up one, but don't use the one from Bunnings. Right, now we get our punch. And we'll punch that out. Punch that out. And this one is going to go on there. And these are quite simple cards because the paper is so pretty and everything that I don't think you need too much on here. And then this one, I'll do that way, over there. Alright, so I've got 3 minutes left, but I've got a few cards, so we're going to go over the hour, if everyone's okay with that, because I still have a couple of cards we need sentiments for. 1, 2, there's 2 more done. So we have done 4. I need 2 more sentiments like that. on this end so that I can still punch them out. And cover them with this. Oh. Whoa, I've spilled that everywhere. What's happened? That's not going to be good. That's what the anti-static was supposed to stop. This. Hi, Marie. We won't be doing that. Because that's no fun. So you can rub that powder off and essentially stamp there again. But I do find sometimes, especially with the darker embossing powders, that they will often like stain your paper a little bit. So it's hard to get a good image. And these are Qantas spoons, which they don't give out anymore, but when I was traveling all the time, I used to keep them because they're good for embossing. All right. Heat this up. Did you just put your buddy in the Versamark? That's kind of what it looks like, didn't it? Right, but this time it didn't stick, so what a mess. So, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, we'll work it out. Ugh. I didn't want to spill it everywhere, but I seem to be making more of a mess, so I might as well just tip more of it in from over here. Nearly there. Adhesive backed metallic gems. They're the ones that came in that kit, yeah? I think I do have them. They came in the kit from on stage. Did I put them away or did I put them somewhere? That piece can go in the bin because that's ruined. Okay, so we want, I've got one more card to do stamping and embossing on, and then we can put the gems on everything, if I can find the gems Megan is suggesting. So there, and then there. Right, now with this one I am going to use this other set to stamp a birthday card. I need to get my cleaner because I don't have enough blocks. I want that one. I Spy a Highland Cow. Stick one of them on. I've got a few left over from last week. Oh, instead of embossing, do you want him instead? And then I could do happy birthday above him. I was going to... I haven't used that set yet. What else have we got in this set? Let's do... What if I stamp this as a background? Well, we'll try, won't we? We'll try. Could turn out like shit. Who knows? We'll blame me again. All right. Now, whoa. That way I only use one stamp set tonight too. I do try and limit my stamp sets so that if people want to recreate the card, they don't need 10,000 things. This looks a bit cool. Right, now when you have some goobers that won't come off like that, before you heat emboss, that's when you get your little paintbrush. And tap them off, because once you heat emboss, they're stuck. Right. Megan, great idea. Now, I do think I would have liked this a little bit better if this was just a little bit more over, so that this wasn't so busy there. But it's hard to see stamping when you're stamping in Versamark and you can't see what you're doing. But how cool is that? Now do we need that paper on there? We might cover up too much of that. I don't think we need the paper anymore. Whilst I'm doing the embossing, you can decide whether we need the paper on there anymore. For those of you that have stuck around. No paper, and I'm wondering then, because we could make that a bit shorter now that that's on there, and make that a bit smaller so that we can see a bit more of that. That's what we're going to do. We're changing it on the fly. Right. Not that I had too much of a plan to start with, but let's cut about that much off. Move him so I don't cut his feet off. Oh, let's go the full inch. He can hang off a bit. Oh, God. What a mess. What a mess, what a mess, what a mighty big mess. Oh, I can stick him to the side like that. Wonder if I, because I have. Do we want the snail on there too? No, because they're the wrong way. I have a koala from last week. Do we want both of them on there to balance that out, or do we want him in the middle? So we took an inch off that. So do we take an inch off here? Too late. Too late, too late. Yep, that works. All right, tell me whether we want the two stuck there or just the one whilst I'm sticking these together. Where is my adhesive? I am loving that background. Great idea, Megan. That is not what you said, but I love it. That's what I interpreted. Do I need to stick that down the top? I think I do. Yes, with the koala. All right. I think the two, yeah, me too. Let's just peel this back a little bit and stick that. Stick that down there. When you've embossed paper, sometimes it's best to have 4 bits of adhesive, not just the 2, because it does ripple a little bit. 1:15, and I have done, I don't know how many cards I've done. Have you ladies been keeping up? How many cards have we made? Oh, I do like that a bit shorter so that you see some of that messiness there, and we're going to have the 2 of them. And we need to find some gems. Oh, how cute is that? Right, let's, before we do anything, we need to pack up this embossing powder because I've already got it everywhere. That's what this good little hole here is for. And your paintbrush to then get it all back in your tray or in your bottle and hopefully not make too much more of a mess. All right. So embossing powder, it does go off, but it lasts a long time. So all that embossing, we used 2/5 of nothing, and I spilt a whole heap. All right, put that back on there so we don't lose that. Middle miss. Middle miss? Did I miss something? Okay. Right, did I put these metallic gems back in here? No, where did I put them? They're probably still in my pile right here. Here they are. Look. Because that's what happens when you don't clean up after your lives. You just end up with a pile of stuff over here. Here we go. Yes, the middle of the layer. What did I do wrong? Oh, of that? Oh, I probably didn't do that. Soz. Okay, so there are some copper gems on here. We use all the copper ones on here. These are nice because they're flat too. Now, I might just tone it back and just do 3 because I don't have a lot of copper. We'll see whether I can continue with the 5. I do like the idea of 5, but just got to tone it back for the time being because I've made so many cards. Don't know whether I've got enough to do 5. Because you don't want to be mixing this up with gold or anything. I think I might have enough. Let's go for it. Right, that one's got 5. Oh, this one's going to look amazing. Right, I have only a few left. Okay, that one can just have that. This one had the 5. This one could have 5. This one can have 5. I'm going to be out of big ones. Right, which was one I said tone back on? This one here. We can do 5, and we're going to be left with 2 gems. 2 copper gems. That's going to be a bit silly. Should I put 7 on 1? Because seriously, 2 copper gems is going to be absolutely stupid. So, there. Finished all the copper gems on that. Okay, so we have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can they all fit in the screen? I only made 7. Oh, that's a shame, Megan. I thought we were going to get the 8. But I ran out of copper foil. So we only got 7 in. And now I've run out of copper gems, so do we like these cards? I like them. Very nice, ladies. Okay, now I need to put these back. So, and the stamp set that we used tonight was this one for the vast majority of everything. And the happy birthday. So, hope you've got inspired to use. And really, I went in with no plan, no nothing, and I just made it up Monday. I think that might be my new thing. Make it up Monday. And yeah, came up with these. So hope you enjoyed it. So next week I am on holidays. I am going to try to remember to be on, but I am on holidays next week, and the week after I'm in Sydney. So I'm going to try to be on, because then otherwise I don't want 2 weeks where I'm away. But because I'm on holidays, I may forget. So hope everyone has a lovely week, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.